Greetings everyone, please give me a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Looks like everything's booting on up. Up at the live chat windows. Looks like everything is good to go there now. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything's good there as well. So let's go ahead and get started. In actuality, something is off my other computer, I realize. There we go, and I'm out of sneeze. Excuse me. So, let's go ahead and get started. I do have a handful of replays I have found or acquisitioned. It's interesting how copy and pasting has quite a bit of time. I wonder if there's some sort of anti-cheat or anti-hacking measure the delays there. That's the only reason why I can see you can't copy paste stuff in. It has to take time to actually process it. By the way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars, Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Small on top right side as the Green Hawk, we got Skylar SK. Small on bottom left side as the allegedly Grayfield guy, we have Gage, we have a Grayfield guy. I got that name mixed up. Either way, when it comes to COs, Gage has been buffed from the cartridge counterpart. Standard boarding cost, 2 radius, 30, 60, 60, all that standard there. Has standard plus 10, and looks like it got a little bit of rework last time I checked. All units for the plus 10, actually plus 10, plus 20 defense, so that's a bit of difference. I think all ground units had additional defense. Now it's a bit more or less, rather than 4 lines, now there's 3 lines. Indirect units get a plus 20% offense, and the CO unit himself will get plus 20% offense. So in total, the CO unit will get at least plus 30, plus 20, and if it's direct, it can be up to plus 50, plus 20, which is quite significant. Bit of a mixed bag, mostly meant for defense for ground units. So indirect units get more effectiveness. Also, he's technically the naval specialist, but also a lot of the COs have a bit of naval aspects to them. When it comes to the superpower, it does also provide plus 2 max range. Hawk is, of course, a custom CO in Days of Ruin. 59 boarding cost, 2 radius, has 30, 70, 120, 120 maximum range energy. It provides a nice simple plus 20% offense, plus 10% defense. And of course has a black wave effect there, plus 1 health, minus 1 health for the power. And for superpower, only for 100 energy, get plus 2, minus 2. So your leftover energy is carried over, so keep an eye on trying to maximize energy before pulling out power or superpower, so you can just keep the ball rolling. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Garza's map is quite large. Fog of War, 3 bases, 1 airports, 3 seaports, which even if 3 seaports, at most you ever see is a lander. When it comes to exiting out onto land, there's a lot of shore tiles there, so there's quite a bit of traversing there, even though it doesn't look like it. Additionally, upon every exit, there's at least 1 forest there, so everything gets slowed down. Wheeled vehicles, of course, do not have increased road movement speed like in previous Advanced Wars. They have planes movement speed and relative when it comes to shores. And looks like Hawk is skipping the central base. This is sort of interesting. So he's rushing to the center. So one of these guys probably gonna head to the center next, I'm guessing. He's pushing this guy forward. He's going straight for the comm tower. He is going to the base now. So he is doing multiple capture skips for infantry unit to rush the comm tower, looks like. And that's quite bold. Let's see how well this plays out. I'm assuming he's not trying to rush on the seaport. He ends his turn on top of the city. He could capture that. But I have a feeling he's going to go straight for the comm tower. Right now, Hawk does have 7,000 income versus 6,000 income, so he has a slight advantage. If he ends his turn next to the comm tower, this infantry unit could spot it if it goes straight for the comm tower. He does actually fully capture that property. Not sure. Never really thought about rushing towards the city like that. I'm not sure how well it go. Guess we'll find out soon enough. It's just quite interesting. Not sure what to make of at the moment. I see potential. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but definitely unusual to say the least. And no bikes being put on the field just yet. He does get next to Conqueror, knows it's neutral at the moment. If his opponent starts capturing it from the next turn, he immediately starts gunning it down. Of course, Rockcaster will know he cannot start capturing the next turn. Actually, no, he can with this infantry unit there. And so he could easily get the first strike. Nope, he went over there, so he's not revealed. So Hawk could start capturing it, but he can easily be interrupted. After all, take one to spot, one to shoot. And there's more than 2 infantry units nearby. All depends who moves front first. But there's actually 3 infantry units can make its way to the comm tower. Now, not necessarily for me. I'm a spectator, so I always like seeing interesting tank pull on the field. He may try to seal it on the HQ. Interior infantry. You got a T-copter as well as a rig to pull on the field, help rig the game. But double transport, that's interesting. I understand T-copter, there's cities in the corner. Does get trapped, interrupts the capture, and does interrupt the capture even further. So yeah, if he would have skipped that city and go straight for the contact, he would have captured it. Not saying he could hold it, he had nothing nearby, so yeah, I don't know. And the tank does end its turn on top of the HQ, so he's going to probably seal over there. He has 15,000 funds, so he can pull out a medium tank this turn. He'll go for double tank and base skip. Sacks unit there, which does put him down 1 damage. Interior artillery infantry. This may be a CO'd artillery, could be a CO'd tank there. Remember as well, +1% firepower on all CO'd units. No CO unit on any of those units. Artillery, tank, and infantry again. So Hawk on for double A tier. And does seal the tank on top of the HQ. Hawk right now has 19,000 income versus Gage's 15. It goes for infantry, battle copter. Try and flip that property and immediately realize, hey, wait a second, that is not friendly. 6 HP, easy to interrupt. This tank here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is in range as 8 health infantry unit, and I feel like a sneeze is coming. Interior, base skip. Ugh. My allergies been kicking in. I feel like I need to sneeze every other minute. Good shot there. This 4 infantry unit there can fall back to this, yep, does fall back to forest. Tank, and flare. 84,078. One infantry unit does get spotted. Double task the infantry unit there. Has 2 infantry units in reserve. 1 infantry unit can head down south into the forest to shoot the 8th health infantry there. A lot of traps there. Looks like Gage is getting stuck quite a bit. And we got a temporary seaport being started. There's probably just meant to just be ready for the mech. Medium tank and artillery. Catching that city up there. Takes the 1 health infantry unit there, no problem. Got a lot of targets in front of Hawk's command tank, so probably pick off 2, maybe 3 infantry units in this region. Takes out that one. Artillery heading to the center. Command tank heads down south. I thought he would have gone over here to get that energy, but decides not to. So it would be perhaps a little exposed. It doesn't see too much over there. Tank infantry. It does go for a T-copter. Good hits there. Good interruption. Drops off there. Can start picking up the other one. Good picks down south. 27 versus 28 military units. Tank. 23,000 encumber versus 24. Expressive damage takes out the infantry unit there. Takes off that unit there, gets trapped. Using if you have to finish off the infantry unit there, very nice. Gets good hits there. Finish off that infantry unit as well. Yes, the infantry is in the sea. Could be hit by a unit in the CO zone, but it's not spotted at the moment. Got the T-copter with the infantry unit there. 8-year battlecopter and tank. Interrupts the capture down south. The barge has nothing down here. Needs to send some units down south. We have a couple of Gage 8-years in the back line. We also haven't seen a CO unit by Gage whatsoever. I'm sort of surprised by that. Either a regular tank would be fine. Here will strike 8-year, then we know that's not going to be great with all the nearby units. 8-year gets struck there again. Now both these 8-years are exposed to the various tanks. We could see a black wave this turn, but he's going to need to use that tank there to hit the anti-airs, so probably will not see a black wave next turn. Instantly picked off that unit there. Almost sacks his anti-air there. Takes up both anti-airs, artillery in position. Good hits there, up to 60 energy, 70 energy. Black Wave is available and does get his +2 CO zone at that. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry. He's going to see one of these tanks back here. I think he should. Deployed out some. Oh, what? Battleship? Is he going to see a battleship? Problem with sealing a battleship is you won't need a gunboat to spot the bases in order to get the melee range of the base. I don't know what this battleship's supposed to really accomplish. And he triple base skipped, heading up 1 infantry at least. But in order for this battleship's going to, I don't know if he's going to try COing it or what, but still, he will need a gunboat to get next and spot the bases, because you can't see, battleship can't see on top of a base. I have no idea what this is supposed to accomplish, honestly. Good hits down south, no black wave. Lots of there has a black storm available. But remember as well, you can get up to 120 energy, so it's a good idea to get some power charge before popping it. Or not if he can or can't is another matter. It's one of the things you should just try. Of course, if he wants a global firepower bonuses, he could simply just pop a Black Storm instead. Or Black Wave rather than Black Storm in order to keep the multiple global effects. Cruiser, yeah, it's something for the battleship. Cruisers do have good spotting and of course protection from aircraft, but that's expensive. He does not see anything just yet. After all, battleship is 25,000, so he's going to have to spend 1,000 or 12,500 sealing it. Cruiser is expensive. I said gunboat because it's 10,000 cheaper, but still, I have no idea. What? Why a fighter? Duster fits all your needs to deal with battlecopters. Dusters are far more economical. Takes out infantry there with the battleship. Sure. It did its job. The problem is, that's 25,000 fund unit taking out 1,500 and has pretty much no other targets available. There's a medium tank there. It takes out the transport copter with the infantry in there. I wasn't paying attention if he trapped it or something, because I'm probably still a little bit stupefied about other things. Right now, Gage is a lot less in the field than Hawk. Hawk looks like he did lose his command tank. Bit of a loss there. But even though he's ahead by 50,000, I would say he's about... Fighter and battleship is so expensive. This, he just take out another... Takes out one battlecopter. At least it's out of... It's in range of 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll be a 6 health anti-air in range, but it's not great, but it does seal infantry right there. That's currently at 5 health. Battleship could hit the tank there if it had vision of it. Great shot there from the anti-air. Battlecopter tank take infantry. Takes out that, wait. When did he build that battleship? I was not paying attention to that. I was not paying attention to that, but apparently he built a battleship last turn. Why? Fighter gets a good shot there in the battlecopter. Goes for a lander. A lander's not necessarily half bad idea. It helps push yourself forward, but the problem is there's so much high expensive assets in the field that are not really useful at the moment. Good shots there. The anti-air needs to be knocked out. The 2 health anti-air does pose a threat to the 5 health fighter. T-copter heading down south to the cities. Tank infantry battlecopter. Well, at least they'll be about as good as the Advanced Wars 2 battleships under CO power. True. Actually, the battleship in, of course, these are in actually has 1 less range, but of course able to fire and shoot while moving, which is very nice. But the problem is they just don't have much coverage due to the lack of sea. And they also are cheaper than the Advanced Wars, than any other battleship. Good shot there. Apparently did not get a good hit there in the flare, but still, it's generally not worth it. Medium tank 8 here. Seals the wounded tank there, which can easily be picked off. That was expensive. A really expensive command upgrade. It's probably going to seal the flare or the medium tank. Yeah, I'm sort of having trouble comprehending this game right now. Hawk is playing quite well, a bit more standardly. Gage is not playing standardly, to say the least. Seals the battleship, so there goes half his day-to-day funds. Mech gets redeployed over there. Nothing to spawn in that city there. Push forwards the anti-air and the medium tank. Helicopter, infantry, mech, and tank. A little bit of pick there. Flare falls on back, is down to 0 ammo. Hawk has a number of wounded forces, so he's able to pop a black wave or black storm. Gets a decent amount of health regen. Does drop from a mech on top of the city, so will be spotted. Probably be shot up by the anti-air or by the tank, which will allow him to be exposed to the battleship. Does get trapped there, does spot the anti-air with that, thanks to. And we've got artillery, anti-air, tank. Helicopter could drop off to the temporary or the full seaport. Mech is still alive and a lot of targets in range both the artillery and the battleship, so got some good engagements down here. Hawk has a nice push here, a good armor push, though the medium tank is in range of the artillery, who is down to 1 last ammo, so he needs to get that rig up here, but that's going to be not really possible. It's always a good sign to see one of your units running out of ammo. It means it's done good work. Artillery strikes the medium tank, knocks off the medium tank. Gets a good shot there in the anti-air. A lot of targets in front of Hawk now. Artillery anti-air, and does go for a full bomber. Expensive, goes for anti-air along with it. Gets good shots there. This is the medium tank. Regular tank gets hit. Artillery gets hit. Regular tank gets nailed. Anti-air gets struck by a tank. Artillery gets struck by a tank. And that unit gets struck by a tank. The battleship up north is still sealed inside of a reef. Hawk right now has 25,000 versus 27,000 income. We do still have despicable neutral city in the center. And Hawk hunting down the southern cities. Tank infantry. Bomber takes out the tank there. Flare does fall back. I thought the flare may be able to take out that one unit. Fighter, infantry. There's a good number of battle class field, but Duster's just straight up a bit more economical. ATR is in range of the bomber and does pop the black wave, takes the bomber there. Deer tank. Tank does fall back to the HQ. Blows out Duster this time as well. Hawk has been getting good number of battle copters, but Duster's just far more economical. They're what, 13,000 versus 18,000? Hawk's main thing is before, takes out that one there and there. Right now there's 140,000 versus soon to be 200,000. And not to mention about 50,000 locked away in battleships. Medium tank infantry. Medium tank's probably maybe a little bit too slow since he's now all the way across this other side of the map. Does pick off infantry there with the battleship. Good striking the battlecopter, takes out that other battlecopter. ETR is in range of the fighter, however. Medium tank is nice. Hits that fighter quite nicely. As well as the Duster. Of the 53 energy, so Black Wave can now be summoned. That stuff is in range of the artillery, but of course no vision there to spot. Does pop Black Wave at the end of the turn. Medium tank ain't here. He's got that one tree there. Does 30 energy, so it's plus 1 CO radius. Missile. Mech. Takes out the battlecopter with one fighter. Takes out Duster there and fighter there. Tries to bike there twice. The entry unit there could spot for the battleship. Rocket spotted by Hawk. Battlecopter does strike the medium tank. And things well, right now the medium tank's gonna have trouble leaving this area. Just at that one health. Missile takes the battlecopter, so now he can exit the region. It's the one for the counter. Battleship strikes another target at 40 energy. Medium tank's out of range of artillery, but still battlecopters there. Goes for anti-tank down south. Takes one of the medium tanks there. The other medium tank takes a beating. Mech goes down as well. At 57 energy right now. No for power, but he has used his turn. And it looks like Gage has designed this android saying "Thank you for watching" and on to the next replay. That was an interesting replay. Let's see, what's the next one on my list? This one. I've actually just did one of him, so maybe not. I'll just save that one for later. Or in the list of replays I still have on my list, but never really gone through them since there's a good stockpile of good replays. I think this will do. Or did I do him last time? What was his opponent again? Oh yeah, it was a Greyfield guy. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advance Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Small on the south side is the purple the Fanatic, where Tish Joe. Small on the north side is the green Cyrus, we got Skylar SK. Of course, Cyrus is technically a custom CO in Tiny Wars. Standard boarding cost, standard radius, standard expansion, and standard and maximum energy. All units get nice and marvelous plus 15 plus 15. And of course, your CO unit becomes unleveled, reverts back to a normal unit, may reload your CO unit on any unwitting unit on the field with 0 boarding costs, and you also get a nice 2 damage missile silo to fire at any location you're choosing. For the Fanatic, also technically a custom CO, even though he's technically a character in the original game. Actually, I think he has a profile picture in the original game as well. All units get plus 10% offense, plus 20% defense. And if the unit has less than 10 HP, they get additional plus 10 plus 10. For superpower, do 1 damage global to all of your own units and you receive a refund for that. All units get plus 1 offense and defense, and it has a bit more of a scaling effect. Rather than taking 1 less health, and now it has the lower the health and more damage. Additionally, when it comes to the Fanatic's superpower, make sure you remove your aircraft carrier off the temporary port to get that refund. This map is a 2-base map, 1 airport, so probably be a good number of battlecopters. There's a pile of C's in the corner, so you should probably get out a T-copter to get over there sooner rather than later. You do also have a aircraft carrier off the corner, so you can get out seaplanes. The Fanatic has pulled out bike and now a T-copter, and we'll do double base skip T-copter. That's interesting. Next turn he will have 9,000 income, so you could get up to 11,500. So I'm not sure he's planning to pull on the field that requires a specific amount. Battlecopter and leaves 2,000 to bank. Okay, that's interesting. It's going to CO the battlecopter. We do have a CO tank there by Cyrus. Blair infantry. Cyrus overplaying the game pretty standard. The Fanatic has CO'd a bike there. T-copter dropped on off, trying to get that delicious income. And puts the battlecopter on top of the HQ there, which will not hide it nor able to CO it since he already has a CO unit in the field. Does get hit there, and does spot the CO unit there. There is a temporary air point that's in the map that both players could eye. I just want to make sure as well. Yep, with the hideable units, ground. So the battlecopter was spotted last turn. Artillery advancing. Goes for the 8 health infantry unit there. Could have gone for a little bit more. Was maybe worried about the anti-air. Mech tank. The aircraft carrier has pulled off the temporary seaport. Battlecopter artillery infantry. You can also calculate where possible anti-air could be. All this has the same port traversement for track. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can assume it could be either here or here. in which if it's right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it would be in range. If it's right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it would be out of range. So that is, would be considered a dangerous spot, though he did guess lucky. Double anti-air there. Tank. Good shot there. Artillery gets a good shot there. Command bike straight forward. Tank gets another good shot there. At the 46 energy, he's pretty close to his power. Though his bike is pretty exposed there. There's a good chance his bike could go down. And the aircraft carrier does pull off the temporary seaport. And Cyrus does capture the central temporary airport and did not push anything forward. It goes from medium tank to regular tank. Got a couple of spots to unit on top of the temporary airport. He needs 10 more energy and he'll get his superpower. Decides not to push for his bike, which is a good idea. He's pretty close to his superpower. Which most I just right now see it's temporary seaport or superpower to get a bit of refunds from his carrier. The more wounded units are, the more firepower they'll get in superpower. And he's pushing pretty far forward. Cyrus gets +1 radius there. And this is probably the turn we're going to see the Fanatic go for a superpower. All he needs to do is this tank strike this target there. But he probably wants to do as little damage, just needs to do 3 damage. Actually, probably best just use the anti-air to strike the battle copter there, but you have to move this 5 health tank. He probably does not want to do that. Actually, yeah, just move this anti-air in a way, probably move it right here, kill off that infantry unit there. He gets guaranteed to get his power, it's going to be 1 shot either way, and then you can pop it and then really maximize the firepower of the 1 health units and the 5 health unit. Helicopter falls back, rocket pushes forward, and there is his superpower. He can now deploy on the field. But looks like he's not going to be deploying out this turn. And it looks like all the anti-airs are down, barring this one for Marine. So Magenta's in pretty good position there, has a good number of artillery. Ends from 121,000 field. Cyrus is nice. Cyrus is pretty far behind. Has 42 energy, so he could potentially get a superpower this turn. He has enough units in the target range for that. And a precision strike could be quite nice. The flare does get shot off there. Moves his command tank and pulls everything back. And no anti-air, or just the 1 anti-air. Looks like he's keeping his power not utilized. Anti-air. Infantry. It's the capping squad. Right now he has 17,000 versus 18,000. Of course, he is behind the corner 3. Precision strike right there. Gets a good strike there, hitting the battle coppers and the rocket. But now, this is probably time for the superpower for the Fanatic. Decides not to pop it. Could have got some extra firepower there. Rocket finishes off there. Rocket was out of range the medium tank and does reload himself up in the medium tank there. Good shots there. A lot of battle cops by the Fanatic. Pushes command bike way too far forward. It's going down. He's in range of the artillery and the medium tank. Missile battlecopter mech. Not sure why he went for a missile. The missile knows where it's at by knowing where it's not. The Fanatic does lose the command bike. And Cyrus does have 30 energy now. Infantry, battlecopter, flare. Does CO the battlecopter there, gets in range of the anti-air. Does get some good damage there. Oh, did he just produce, nope, he did produce a seaplane. Since it's going to push the flank here, the seaplane will be an excellent asset. Maybe worth to have tasked the infantry in there to engage the medium tank. Right now he's at 81% health. He could get 1 point of damage there. And the Fanatic just does it himself. Good kills there. It's the mech there. Rocket gets a good strike there. Seaplane strikes the tank. Decop's getting pretty low on fuel, 22 fuel. Battlecop's getting low on health and ammo and fuel. Good shot there on the anti-air. Anti-air or missile takes the battlecopter. The radius of the command copter, so get some nice energy there. 44 energy. Get the energy right now. Pulls back. You could merge one battlecopter into the command copter. Battlecopter tank infantry. Seaplane gets back in the aircraft carrier. Takes the battlecopter there. Artillery getting range to artillery. Anti-air infantry. And keeps 12,000 in the bank. It hits there. Cyrus at 9 energy does spot the artillery. Medium tank to tank. Helicopter goes inside the aircraft carrier. Does put another seaplane. He also does have both comp towers, does have +10/+10 global. Starts at 100,000 field for 183. Infantry battlecopter tank. Battlecopter is now up to 9 health. And also you should be able to launch these units there. It looks like I can't do it from the replay view to show the battlecopter launch. The Fanatics push pretty far forward. Cyrus is loaded up into an anti-air. Has 60 energy. Looks like this battlecopter will be going down shortly. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Medium tank does strike the medium tank there. Up to 47 energy, getting some good progress there. Battlecopter does strike the tank. Medium tank taking some good hits there as well. But he's in range of a whole bunch of artillery pieces. He may just seal this anti-air back down south. Loses the medium tank to the infantry unit there. This takes out the wounded battlecopter. Artillery barrage just running on in. Lots of picks out on the side. Cyrus is down to 78. And a good chunk of that is the aircraft carrier. He's just overall getting hit by a clean sweep, it looks like. Tank. Medium tank, anti-air. Polaris fires, spots a whole lot of nothing. It looks like Purple's trying to fall back with some of his units. Seaplanes do head back home. They're getting low in fuel. One is down to 9 fuel, the other one's down to 12. I always forget how little fuel they have. The answer is very, very little. Those temporary airport and send the map. The seaplane can make its way there and resupply. But it hits along the flank. Cyrus is pretty close to a CO power, but it's nothing much to really target. Fanatics also almost ready for another power. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Does pop the precision strike, get some good damage there. Reloads himself into a medium tank, probably the best target for it. The Fanatics at 59 energy, and Lord itself is hyper wounded. Him getting one more power charge would be quite easy. Just have the missile take out the battlecopter and then pop the superpower. Will we actually see the superpower? We will not see the Fanatics superpower. ET does strike that battlecopter, takes it out as well. Tank, battlecopter, bike. And Interior does get sealed. The Fanatics battlecopter does take some hits there. Duster, infantry. And base skip. Fanatic may pop a superpower this turn. It doesn't look like it. Not taking the ATR there, takes the battlecopter. Fanatics right now is at 20,000 income versus 18,000, also starting progress to capture the HQ. Cyrus right now has 6 military units in the field, with only 45,000 valuing the field. The aircraft carrier is consuming a lot of that. Mech, artillery, and battlecopter. And Cyrus has resigned. This is Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started in the next replay, I do need the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I am back. Let's see. Yep, I think this is a good one. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advance Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn south side as a dark gray Lynn, we got Booper. Spawn north side as a red Lynn. We have, or Isabella, not Lynn, we got Inconspicuous. Oops, that was the wrong button. Let me stop the local recording and redo that one. I hit a shortcut for Rumble. Let me just start over. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advance Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the south side as the dark gray Lynn, we got Booper. Spawn on the north side as the red Isabella, we got Inconspicuous. Isabella's course nerf from the cartridge counterpart has standard boarding cost, 2 radius, 30, 60, 60. Provides all units plus 20% offense, plus 10% defense. And for Super, does give all units plus 2 mid range and all indirect units 1 maximum range. Lynn is the same as the cartridge counterpart, has standard boarding cost, 1 radius, 30, 60, 60. And of course, it provides plus 10% offense, defense for all units, and all ground units get additional plus 20% offense and defense. And for Super, does provide plus 2 vision range for all and see-through hiding places for all ground units. So let's go ahead and get started. Infantry, and moves gunboat. And we moves the infantry unit 1 tile. That's interesting. Was that limited in movement? Am I crazy? I think I'm crazy. Yeah, either way, if it's going to go to that property, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, so maybe that's just a style point thing. Infantry. This map is of course 3 bases, 1 airport, 2 seaports. While I'm going to see not much in seaports, though occasionally aircraft carriers can be quite nice. Other than that, not really much. Most of the time you just only see a lander. It's occasionally a second gunboat, but most times there's a lander. You have now bike deployed in the field. This map does offer a pair of column towers, which are secureable for one side, but they are contestable. This map does offer a lot of property, so a lot of income. Bike, and infantry. I think I'm going crazy. I think I blinked and I think that gunboat teleported. Yeah, I think I'm just going crazy because I blinked and all of a sudden it just seemed like the gunboat teleported. Yeah, I'm checking on one of my streams there to see if it did just straight up teleport. No, it was me blinking. Lynn has, or Isabella has bought a recon build. She may either CO it, but she may not. Bike and mech. No CO on the recon. Infantry tank. She may load herself up in that tank. And looks like the column tire is going to be seized now. Isabella can interrupt one of the captures down south, the bike. Recon tank infantry. And since the bike there, she could actually pull back the infantry and start capturing the column towers, because that would be a safe guaranteed capture. And maybe the better option, honestly. Does not see the tank there, does go to column tower capture rather than for interrupt. I do believe that was a better option. Battlecopter, infantry. So maybe she's going to try to seal the battlecopter. She does support all units with her aura, so doesn't have to worry about any particular aspect. Lynn's course supports ground use, so she's probably going to load herself up in this tank right there. It does. This tank does now have plus 50. Artillery, infantry. Oh, deletes the gunboat. Go and seal that tank then. Tank A tier and base skip. Does go ahead and load up the gunboat with a mech. And is going to start flipping the property. Doesn't look like anything nearby to interrupt. And a good wave of bikes can push to the right side. Overall, it feels like Lynn's a better position, at least on the south side. Over on the north side, she is lacking a lot of assets. So if Lynn wants to contest the northern flank, she will need to get out. Need to get a lander out. Does get trapped there. Tank does get sealed. Starts flipping the comm tower. Can be interrupted by 1 to 3 of these infantry units there. Anti-air tank. Does spot 1 of the infantry capturing the city. Good shot there. Looks like she will get 15 energy this turn. Go ahead and capture there. Battlecopter strikes the recon, and right now Lynn has no proper counter to it. Anti-air is way far behind. Strikes the bike capturing the comm tower. And right now Lynn does see all the targets in front of her. She can send her command tank of your guard. Start getting some good energy. Go sneeze. Sneeze not coming out. Good shot there. Getting up to her 7 energy. Does pull back the recon there. Artillery heading over here. That's one way to shoot up a bunch of infantry units there. Tank, bike, battlecopter. Recapture parts left on this bike can get double tapped by the 6 and full health infantry unit there, which maybe will want to finish off. Good shot there on the bike. Bike goes down. Oh, and yes, does finish off there. Target rich fireman still in front of the tank. Does get a strike there in the infantry unit there. Anti-air, infantry, battlecopter, and mech. Trying to flip both those properties, so it'll take 2 more turns. Good strike there. Gets a nice 9 energy. Sort of surprising him one-shot it. Plus 36 firepower is quite a bit. decides to pick up the 7 health infantry in there. And the artillery is now in some force. They're ready to provide its artillery cover for that tank. And depending on positioning, could get some CO zone energy charge. Battlecop sending down south of the winter. Tank artillery. Artillery tank. Up north, trying to flip some properties. Overall, Lynn has a pretty good presence up here. Isabella, however, has a pretty good core of tanks here. Lynn's position down south can be threatened. Right now, that's Summer Bell in the field, but she has to place a full turns of income Summer Bank. She's at 33 energy now, getting +1 radius. Lynn is on the Tabata, just a little bit more toned down in the effects. Or very toned down, but at least she gets +1 radius to start out with. And now with +1 radius, she becomes very quite useful. And got a pretty good core tanks there. Sacks the gunboat there, puts the 3 health infantry unit on top of it. I'm not sure what that was meant for. Could just guess he wants repairs there. Right now, Isabel's at 15 energy. Margaret's to her left and south. Mech our rocket, our tank. The rocket must be trying to defend the flank. Of course, as well as superpower does give it +1 range, so there's some good usefulness there. Looks like Lynn's going for a number of battle cups north, and sending more tanks from north as well. Looks just going to try to flank from this direction here. Bike's trying to capture them, flip some properties. Hits the battle cup there without in the CO zone, so no energy there. Probably wouldn't be a good idea. Would have been a good idea to do that. Pulls back over here, but she just wants to send her to tank in the center. And both sides have a good number of tanks here. Isabel right now has, let's see, how many tanks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Makes some good progress down south and does hit the AT there, but the artillery's in range of that tank now. Of course, she does not have vision of it, it's hiding in the forest. Good shot there, getting some power charge there, up to 23, 33, 41 energy. Rocket, tank, going for a healthy number of rockets. Maybe a little bit too healthy. Does get a good hit there on that tank. Artillery does strike the tank there, giving her a bit more energy at 42 energy at the moment. The ability to pop the superpower, able to spot everything in front of them, is very nice. Good shot there on the mech. Lynn, of course, can't get her superpower this turn, but she may get enough power charge for the next turn. As well as at 51 energy. Again with her, she can't get her power or superpower this turn, but she can easily get enough power charge for the next turn. Though, whoops, sorry, I hit my microphone. Moving our tank forward like this could be a little bit dangerous. 58 energy. Now, Lynn has to stay away from the command tank, which she does not see. Strikes the tank there. Man tank's actually almost out of fuel, but it's parked itself on a city. Good strike here on the max. She's at 49 energy, so needs 11 more. So at least 2 strikes. And then looks like setting up a nice ball of tanks here. Ball gonna push over here with this force here, come to our flank. Trying to put the squeeze in this region. This force is mostly composed of infantry max, so a very slow force, not aggressive. I mentioned a little out of position, have to sprint forward immediately in order to help prevent this. It's around 217,000 on the field, as well as starts turn 192, so she is behind by about a turn. Let's get a good shot there. Isabella now has her superpower available. Lynn may be able to pop her superpower this turn. She needs to one-shot this tank and then hit something else, but don't think she can. Does get trapped there. Battlecopter gets a good strike there, however will not get a power charge. Actually, didn't need one shot. It can pop the power. Don't know if popping the power would be super great right now. Looks like she's just going to sort of push forward. Both the seals have their power available. Next turn, Lynn should probably pop her, but Isabella can pop her next turn. One rocket is over here, going to be out of range of everything. This rocket will have its pick up about 3 of the tanks there. But +2 movement allows a lot of stuff to charge forward. These tanks will be in range of stuff. Pop the power and let's see how it goes. Battlecopter swings into the recon, connect. Infantry swings way forward, infantry trying to capture. Recon pass there, recon pass there. Infantry hits infantry, battlecopter strikes infantry. Infantry hits infantry. Let's get a strike there. Let's just move this flank here. Allows a recon push or rocket troops move forward there. Gunboat. Recon push it forward. Rocket from here strikes on the forest. There's just 3 defense stars. There's a battlecopter. Tank strikes tank. 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 How many times do I have to say that? Yeah, it pops 2 more. Tank strikes artillery. Isabel's force here greatly gotten nullified. Starts from 208. Isabel ends turn for 231. Most of aggressive force for Lynn's actually over here. If she pops her superpower with this tank here, she will... Yeah, nobody's pushed forward. We've got a war tank back here. No land at the moment, so maybe the land's gonna pull out next turn. Pops superpower, gets some good vision. She has basically good enough vision. Battlecopter strikes there. Hits the infantry. Capture. Hits the artillery. Anti-air strikes for recon. Pike as well. Recon's out of 4% health. And small picks there. It's the tank there. Remember, battle comes only get +10/+10 global. A lot of good hits there. While Lynn's using a lot of battle copters, they're still doing quite well. Those battle copters still in fact battle copters. Her bombers now push way forward. Tank, bike, battlecopter, tank. And turn for 132, Isabel starts from 190. She has lost her CO unit within all that chaos. You can go see another one of those tanks or anti-air back there. Takes out the meteorite. Good hits there. ATR is able to range the battlecopters. You only enter the battlecopter in the range of the ATR. Battlecopter strikes tank. Tank goes down. Hits the ATR while at it. Tank just strike tank. Trying to flip another propping center. Tank, Duster, battle, artillery, and mech. No unit was CO'd last turn. Linso has her CO tank. Pulls up the moon ATR there, gets a good strike. Is it that ATR there? Interrupts the capture. Is it that unit there? Good kill there. Actually gets the 32 energy. Oh, we got a triple capture threat, or quadruple capture threat there. 3 possible captures next turn. As well, it does also have 3 capture threats next turn, so both sides can be flipping a good number of properties. Indirects advancing, battlecruisers fall back. We got a good core of mechs along the flank. Merges there. Try and keep a good defensive core here. But it looks like 5 properties or 4 properties could be flipped next turn. I didn't see what got exploded. A unit may have been deleted. Isabella won't be able to get her CO power deployed next turn, but she will at least get enough power charge for it, likely. Tank does get a nice little recon pass there. There's a good number of tanks, indirects, and all that sort there. Does hit the rocket there, and making her way up north. Bomber heading us way up north as well. Do you have a Duster there for ATR purposes? Tank battlecopter. Just a capture gets a good hit there in the tank, as well as the command tank now pulled in the field. Strikes Lynn's tank there, and Lynn's tank does go down. Strikes the ATR as well at 39 energy. Does strike the battlecopter there. Does spot the bomber, so Duster just needs to get into range. There are ATRs to help the infantry and the aircraft. Mech, medium tank, ATR. Instead of 106, Lynn starts from 113. Takes out the battlecopter there. Battlecopter takes out the tank. Hits the command tank there. As well as the command tank does go down. She makes her seal into this medium tank. They've got a possible HQ capture there. Rocket could interrupt. Rocket does go down, but a tank nearby to interrupt. Lens right now is 31,000 income versus 25, quite a bit of difference there. Mech, anti-air, battlecopter, bike. CO's the wave tank there. Gets a bit of power charge with the artillery, interrupts the capture. It's the bike there. It's the bike there. Could use the artillery there, but does use the wipe out the captured squad. Get that unit there. Duster finds the bomber, gains good damage onto it. A lot of goodies there. Nice front shift northwards for the defense. Done both there. ETR push forward. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry, base skip. Bomber can strike there on the tank. Westland has loaded herself up into a war tank. Tank, battlecopter, bike, and tank. Place up the tank there. ATR strikes down the bomber. Does spot the war tank now. Not good hits there, up to 20 MG. The rocket is out of range of the war tank. A lot of good hits over there. A tank in range, as well as soon to be 2 or 3 health artillery. Mech, tank, and bike, battlecopter. Insert 188, Lens starts for 192. There's an anti-air. Lens up to 15 energy long. Good strike there on that tank. Hits the rocket as well. As some of those outlying units are getting a lot of power charge up to 35, 42 energy at the moment. This is the anti-air. It's the tank there. Takes out the artillery, or pretty much knock out, up to 50 energy, so she could possibly pop her power next turn. Lynn's at 20 energy. She probably needs to use her medium tank to strike the war tank. Though the war tank is in range of the artillery that's on top of HQ, so there's possibly Lynn's war tank could go down next turn. Tank, mech, battlecopter. It's the tank there and there. Gets a bit of power charge going. More power charge there. Artillery strikes it. Sacks the war tank. She's throwing in a lot of stuff into that war tank. Knocks it out. Do a lot of stuff in there. Including ATR. Duster does finish with the battlecopter. Luckily ATR doesn't have too many targets left in front of it, barring all the infantry. Gets out that one unit there on the flank. Interrupts the capture down south. Lynn's at 55, 59 energy. And we'll stop short at 59 energy. Got a good number of artillery there, so the increased range could be quite nice on them. Tank, anti-air tank. Right now, Isabel's at 123 versus 177. Looks like Lynn or Isabel's falling pretty far behind. A lot of her artillery getting hit now. Yeah, pretty much half her artillery is now knocked out. Has 2 severely wounded artillery and 1 full health one. Battlecraft Construct there. She has not her superpower, but she's getting completely overran. Battlecopter, tank, bike, and tank. I saw that unit there, but good chance her medium tank will be knocked out. Right now, I think a rocket could be quite nice on the space there. Help provide coverage. Does the battlecraft there quite nice, hits the A-tier. Yeah, I think a rocket right now to start pummeling and providing coverage from this region is not bad. Mech, tank, and full bomber. Lens right now is just at 32,000 income versus 24. We have a clean sweep on the right flank for Lynn. Battlecopter does get trapped there. It's good picks there. Or the medium tank did not get hit, but it's running out of support. Down to 2 ammo while at it. Indeed, probably find an end of turn on top of this, maybe the city there, let the artillery and battlecopter strike it, and then he can end his turn there by, or her turn there by and strike that tank while at it. But she will need ammo. If she ends her turn with 1 ammo, it can easily just be wasted and then focus down with a bunch of weak units there without any real concern. Now at least it's surrounded. At least from this side. Just go ahead and end her turn for 123,000 field. Lynn's turn of 175. And 3 more projects being flipped, but 1 will take an extra turn. Kills there. The infantry unit can start capturing the HQ again. So I just try to get artillery for 1 damage. Lynn's already at 57 energy, so next turn she can likely get her. Actually, no. Currently, so nothing pushes forward. She will not be able to get her power due to nothing in range. Rig, tank, and battlecopter. Does pop the superpower there. Don't know what the real purpose is. +1 movement range is nice and all. This may be one last hurrah. Mech, medium tank. Lynn has his superpower available. He's going to use it to boost these ATRs hit that bomber. Inside the bomber normally with that one. The 3 health ATR still can be ranging it. Anti-air, tank, battlecopter, and bike, or recon, blah. And Isabel does resign. Is angry, saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get to our next replay, I do need to restroom again. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I am back. Let's see, take this one, copy this one. This is one I was going to cast. And depending on how long this goes on, this may be my last replay for tonight. I'm going to adjust my microphone and let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars Days Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Small on bottom right side as the green Grot, we got Yoshi Rider. Small on top left side as the red Tabata, we got Mangs. When it comes to COs, Tabata's unchanged for the cartridge counterpart, 50% boarding cost, no radius, 30, 60, 60, and all units, primarily herself, gives plus 60, plus 60. 2 power, of course, does summon the Stern Meteor. Grab is, of course, a custom CO, a bit of a counterpart to Tabata, as standard boarding cost, 0 radius as well, 20, 50 in expansion, and 50 energy. And only provides units plus 10, and all units who start their turn in the CO zone get plus 1 max range. And super plus 2 max range for all units. When it comes between these two, it's easier, even though Tabata takes more power charge to get her expansions and her superpower, it's easier to generate power charge with Tabata than with Grot because of her absurd firepower. This is also one reason why I believe Grot should either be loaded up into an A-tier first in order to start picking off infantry units there, and when she gets plus 1 CO zone, she can really be strong. Because until she gets the plus 1 radius, she's actually just okay. It's weird, you would assume a CO power like that would be very good, but it's actually just okay. Does load the infantry unit inside the gunboat and boosts. Oh, also, and Grot has an inferior soundtrack to Tabata. Tabata just has a very good soundtrack. Honestly, most of the soundtracks in Days of Ruin are excellent. There's very few weak ones. Ironically, I think Will's theme's pretty weak. Everything else seems pretty strong. We got a double base escape into tank for Tabata. She may just load herself up in this tank there and just probably go for triple infantry. Got a flare, infantry, no CO unit just yet. COs the tank there. Of course, double wasteland makes it slow going. Infantry, infantry, infantry. This infantry is in range, just needs to be spotted. And it definitely got spotted. Flare, infantry, infantry. Maybe a little bit too many flares right now. Talco's being aggressive. One free kill there. Then we decide to sweep around the far side, just never know if that's in the ruins. With our Cap's vision, we know it's safe enough. And with estimating like movement and terrain in the early game, you can assume Mickey Gamble's not there. But could at least gone this way and then strike on the far side. But of course you always have to be careful about tanks. When it comes to tanks here, just assume there's a tank here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's roughly where the tank could move. So he probably had vision right there. And then he could have realized, I can push the tank on the far side. Artillery, infantry, infantry, keeping... oh no, artillery, tank, infantry. Top does score another kill there, up to 20 energy. Once she gets her +1 raise, she becomes a wall breaker. Top can almost HQ rush there too. More or less, yeah. Flare push way forward, gets a nice early pick there. Artillery push way forward. That flare pushing forward. This infantry unit there could simply do a recon pass through this area. I'm not sure if top of the tank can one-shot a flare on top of the city. I have to say yes. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Double trap on the right side. Does spot the flare, and does one-shot a +1 radius. And now this infantry unit there, if this was spotted, could have got the kill. Start to secure the capture, but another tank there. And a staggering 38 energy. She is getting a lethal radius. The Grot has not even been deployed on the field. Paul can go for one of these units. Now those seem like a CO unit at this moment. Needs something to deal with Talpa's command tank. Does go for medium tank, so Paul can try to CO the medium tank. Here's the problem with Talbot on this map. Storm Meteor, there's an aircraft carrier to draw some fire. Does strike the gunboat. That's a little bit dangerous. She is on top of HQ, so she has a staggering +125 defense right now. How much damage can even medium tank do to that? It's like 3 damage, right? But she can, of course, definitely gonna seal this tank there. I'm wondering. Yeah, 3 damage, so I did estimate correctly. Granted, there's also luck damage. Sealing the medium tank's probably pretty important right now. Does not seal the medium tank there. Actually lost in the fight. Mech is a good follow-up shot there. 56 energy. Good kills on the right flank. Taba's, this flank here for Taba is getting quite crushed pretty quickly. Grata's lowered herself in the tank there. And base skip. With 56 energy, Taba cannot deploy her superpower out this turn. She can get a charge. She will have to move back 1 tile and hopefully goes to this tile. And for her sake, because if she moves to this tile, she'll be ranged by the artillery. She has to move back 1 tile, have the unit push forward, and then use a CO zone to get a good strike from both the force and from the HQ. Or it goes right here from the planes in HQ. Tabla stays. She does have a CO power. Merge. Don't know if that's a good or bad option. Merge at 4 health, yeah. Keep her alive there. It's hard to displace her. She's on top of HQ. She takes pretty much no damage. The medium tank lost that fight there. This tank will probably lose the fight as well. We'll lose the anti-air to the artillery. But Tabata needs to fix her flank, that's for sure. A Stern Meteor could be very nice over here. So I think she needs to pull back her command tank to the city there and then launch Super Powered Fire Sport. Seaplane there, that's probably not a good idea. You need a rig on this map out. You do need a rig out in the field immediately to support the seaplane because of its low fuel and ammo. Here's a rig and double infantry, and it goes for another seaplane. No, partially got him for battlecopter and tank over here. Oh yeah, I would say, oh, she's going to lose the E-tier. I forgot about the fact that the CO zone provides plus 6% defense, so yeah, it took hardly any damage there. E-tier still very much usable. There's a lot of force there. If the HP meteor hit, it could strike here, nuking everything, including her own gunboat. If she wants to manipulate the meteor, pull back the gunboat so the meteor can strike right there. War tank there. But I think Tabata needs to launch her meteor. The Firestorm. The Firestorm did land. Looks like it landed right there. Oof, that was not a good spot for it. He had to need to pull back the gunboat there to manipulate it, because with the gunboat there, it could have struck right here, striking all those same targets as well. So the gunboat there ruined targeting, so big mistake there. And I think it was an HP or a, yeah, it looks like an HP rather than, definitely HP rather than value or indirect, so yep, misplay there. Try and go for HQ capture there. Does have plus 6% defense, so this infantry unit itself has 105% defense. So trying to dogpound the HQ and go for HQ capture. Goes for two main seaplanes. There's a seaplanes. Produce the seaplane before moving the seaplane off of it. Another big mistake there. Because that seaplane needs to be pushing down south or any direction rather than staying inside. So two big mistakes last turn. Gets a good shot there onto the infantry unit there. Grass tank there fires across over the mountains. Or fires a shot in the valley between the mountains. Anti-air flare. Artillery range of the gunboat. Gunboat gets struck by the artillery there. Tabata's tank there get a good shot there. Seaplane got an excellent shot there in the war tank. Hits the battlecopter while at it. Good shot there. Mean tank's out of range. Could join onto the HQ, but keeping this guy there. It's probably the better option, although it be for a meat shield. The gunboat pod should just be deleted so he can make use of that tile there. Tank, tank, and tank. Definitely HQ dive. Did pull back. Disagree with that. It needed to not take a hit. Has 4 capture progress remaining, but now there's a clear shot to the HQ to do a lot of damage there. If that unit was still there, it would have one more. One more target have to go through. Deleting the war tank, taking out the infantry there, and then the war tank will have to get a shot onto it, which would have interrupted as well, so. There's that tank there. Interrupts the capture for another turn. Takes an anti-air. Seaplane has 13 fuel, so the rig needs to push forward and resupply it next turn. It will consume, what, 5 fuel per turn, so it'll be 13 down to 8. Then, if she wants to make sure it stays in air for another turn, she needs to make sure only move it up to only 2 tiles this turn. It does not need a resupply this turn. It does get resupply this turn, which is not a bad idea. Continue to try to join capture. 2 capture progress remain, but there's a lot of things that can interrupt it, including the rocket there. I think this rocket is just guaranteed for the to pick it off there. Pulls back the tank there. He needs the tank to merge onto it. Up north, I've been so focused down here. Up north, does spots everything there. And try to go for a flip there. 23 or 21,000. All material has been consumed, so all seaplanes have been deployed in the field. Seaplanes are pretty good journalist units. Brass tank pulls back there, hits the infantry unit there. It's the seaplane, needs to get at least 3 damage there. And it got 3 damage. The seaplane could start falling back to the carrier to get resupply there. The flip was not successful. Duster, infantry. You know, I'm not so sure how effective dusters are versus seaplanes. You rarely ever see seaplanes, as well as dusters, but particularly seaplanes. Takes out gunboat, traps the anti-air, at least from this side. Duster is in range of the seaplane there. Let's see, how much damage does a Duster do to a seaplane? 45 damage, so can you take out the 3 health one? Rocket strikes the bike there. Duster takes out the wounded seaplane. Artillery in range of this HQ. The HQ capture is not going to happen. Tabata has her command tank fully healed on up. Blair can spot a lot of good stuff over here. Probably best not hit that tank there. If the flare were to fire a shot, I can't really do it from the caster mode. Good shots there. Top is at 19 energy. The rig could take time and build a temporary airport. Does start building temporary airport. Seaplanes could just simply fly back to it to get resupplied. Top is starting to stabilize over here, but she's still pretty outgunned. Not to mention in range of artillery. Tank, medium tank, recon. And waits the aircraft carrier. New monster. 1 seaplane's gone down. Down to 2 seaplanes that can be put on the field. And nothing further. Anti-air. It looks like Tabata will get a nice flip down south. They're at equal income at the moment. Battlecopter, mech, infantry, and anti-air. Decides to push forward the rig there, get a resupply, and does get trapped on the infantry unit there, and then fired flare. Oops. But even then, that flare, I'm not sure why you fired the flare off there. He had pretty good vision there, just a little bit too late. Takes up the battlecopter there. Tank, triple tanks. Seaplanes are getting hit. Could be merged together and be down to 1 seaplane. Infantry and artillery with a flare down south. Strikes the battlecopter there, and just realized Grot's command aura is up to +1 raise, so now all these units here have +1 maximum range. So Grot becomes starting to become lethal. Artillery's going to get another good shot on in. Spots the artillery. actually no anti-air down south, so these seaplanes are becoming blockers. Battlecopters cannot strike seaplanes since they're jet move types. Or plane move types. Double taps the tank there and there. Oh! Use the +1 range from the aura to get that shot off the rocket. Very nice. Now the backline rocket's going to be causing issues. So Taba's command takes at 29 energy. She just needs just one more energy, then she gets a +1 radius. But she also needs to merge. She could get that +1 energy by hitting this artillery safely enough. Just needs a bit of spotting. And let's see, insert for 143, Taba starts on 148, so pretty equal footing there. Goes back to tank entirely, merge there. Of course, it is hiding, so not like she can realize it's shot there. Duster now deployed in the field, gets a good shot there. It's probably better if the Duster hit that 9 health one rather than the 1 health one. Though we do have now another HQ capture there. But the rocket is in range of the HQ. Get 75% damage, really good damage there. And then the tank could push forward, get a shot off something, and the battlecopter can get a finish-up shot there. Yeah, the tank could just push forward, get a strike on this tank there. Go for it here, and then take a shot on that tank. Taba's flank here has never been very strong, but now there's a bomber there. If the ATR goes down, then the bomber can reign supreme. In fact, the bomber is in range now. Gets that shot there. Battlecopter decides to finish off. Duster takes out that 1 unit there. 2 health is fine enough to leave for now. Get some good shots there. 1 seaplane left. Anti-air, infantry. Answer 146 for 144. Well, I should just take the shot there. Could use the recon. Get some, try to soften up there, and then let the bomber take a good strike there. Help preserve it a little bit. Tanks now flanking. Nice front shift there by Tabata. Though, once again, goes into artillery range. Bomber goes there. Does not hide. Hit that max vet in here. I think I'm going to go from the regular tank there. Going from the regular tank allows her to range the anti-air on a little bit more easily, and then once they able to wound it, then the bomber can finish off, no problem. And does with the aircraft carrier at the end of the turn, you monster. Artillery now on top of the HQ, low in ammo. Does hit the APC or the rig. Good shots there. 46 energy. Infantry. Tank, mech, and battlecopter. Takes out the Gratz command tank there quite decisively with Tabata. And now she has +1 radius. Gain some good damage there, and also rapidly increase her value. Though she is in range of the artillery, not in range of the rocket, even gets +1 radius from, say, this infantry unit there by being CO'd. Some picks over on the flanks. And the bomber does charge forward in range of the ATR now. 20 fuel, but enough to reach the bomber. And does with the aircraft here at the end of the turn. Goes for recon, ATR, bike, or battlecopter in infantry. That's Duster there. CO's the battlecopter there. Takes a good strike down top of his command tank. Bomber gets struck there. Now the war tank is in range of the anti-air. The bomber is basically done for. Mech tank. Insert of 149, type of 137. She's starting to fall behind now. Let's see. Anything the Tabitha can do to get her CO power? Nope, nothing in range. She can at least get some good power charge this turn. Anti-air is in range of Duster, so maybe a good idea to pull back her tank here, get it merged with this tank, let the anti-air strike one of these targets, and maybe some of the sort. And nothing can hit the other air target there. Pulls back way over there. Gets an easy kill on the Duster, gets up to 55 energy. However, she is in range of the rocket there. Just needs probably a bit of spotting, and then Tabitha's command tank goes down. Bomber pulls back, war tank takes out the anti-air. It'd probably be best, rather than having the bomber park in the airport, go back to the aircraft carrier to spend time building some battlecopters. Battlecopter recon. Looks like he's going to try to reconnoiter the area. Tabitha still has a better income, 23,000, 21,000, small advantage. And the command... Ooh, Grot goes for the snipe. I was going to say, oh, yeah, the battlecopter can't range it. Oh, no, wait, that's Grot's command copter. She must be playing a bit too much War Thunder. Medium tank, mech, battlecopter, and another mech. Both players at 147, and it does seal the battlecopter there. There goes Grat's copter there. Taking out Tabitha is definitely a good call. After all, she was at what, 55 energy. Can't let her get a firestorm off. The last one was just poorly played. Next one could be a far more devastating. Oh, the temporary report has been established here, so don't need to go back to the aircraft carrier. Battlecopter, infantry. And some hits there. That could be loaded in the medium tank over here. Artillery gets a good strike on the war tank. Does lower itself into the medium tank. Tank, infantry, mech. Enter 136 versus 148, so Tabitha still has the advantage. Anti-air takes out anti-air. Tabitha's command copter is heading down south for the winter, which may or may not be caused by Mr. Bear. Good shot there. Does spot the Grot's tank there. Could sack the tank there. Because right now, Grot's tank here can simply just fire against the war tank at range. I don't think a one-shot it, but it's definitely get some good damage into it. Tank. Get some good damage onto it. A mech will definitely finish it off. A lot of picks over here, a lot of wounded units going down, a lot of wounded units still remaining. Does take out the war tank there, 5 energy for Grot. Anti-air, tank, and anti-air. Tabitha has some... Let's see... Oh, this mech looks like an easy kill for Tabitha. That won't be an instant kill though. There goes the rocket there, but now she will see some fire from this anti-air. A lot of good picks over there. With our castle vision, we know it's probably a good idea for the bomber to move right here, take a shot against the tank there, and protect the battlecopter, Tabitha's command copter. At least this 4 health tank battlecopter can be used to merge. She will take a significant amount of damage, at least be down to 3 health. Anti-air, infantry, anti-air. Let's see. Be down to 4 health. Could be sealed though. Yep, merge the 2 battlecopters together now. And Tempest's command copter does go down there. Good hits there. Up to 11 energy. Tava is losing quite a bit over here. She may need to be sealed into a unit over here. Anti-air, battlecopter, infantry, and artillery do have now a temporary airport being established. That could be just for a jump-off point. Good picks over here. Slowly picking off some of those units there with the wounded bomber. Has 3 health, good enough. Picks off that unit there. There's a battlecopter falling back to the temporary airport. Very nice. Both sides have lost a decent amount of value. 151 versus 114. Of course, our day-to-day is basically put up to 130. Takes out the bomber there and the wounded infantry there. Anti-air takes out full health battlecopter and picks off that tank there as well. Brad's making a lot of good picks this turn. Does spot that infantry there. A nice easy pick there for a +1 radius. This is where she becomes lethal again. Battlecopter here, likely the CO'd battlecopter here. Infantry, mech, infantry, and battlecopters, which means no anti-air up here, so the CO battlecopter will be a good call. War tank there. There's going to be a top of a war tank. That's going to be far overkill. I don't think that's a good idea. Too slow, not to mention the fact that you have to spend her turn in order to pop the superpower if she wants to go for a superpower. Should be nigh indestructible though. Battlecopter still need to push forward. So it looks like she's going to be sealing the war tank. Blair takes that unit out up north. Blair gets knocked out. Battlecopter, infantry, tank. Does seal the war tank there. So that's a monster. Could have parked on top of the HQ to keep it hidden. Now likely be spotted. Battlecopters need to head down south to provide some escort, though this one's just going to head for the temporary airport. Infantry, tank. Blair spots nothing. That could be a good sign since those are going to be spots to capture. Brad's tank there gets a good hit. One, two, three, four. Tava's war tank is potentially in range of this medium tank. And I'm assuming Tava's war tank one-shot a Grot medium tank, but I honestly have no idea. Medium tank, mech, and artillery. Artillery's just probably trying to help lock down this area. Any tank could be very useful at that, to say the least. Answer of 145, structure of 145, so they're very even at the moment. Recon gets a shot there. Tank can finish it off. Anti-air takes out that mech. Oh, she can one-shot it. Tabitha. That was a pretty good hit there. Not to mention it was +1 race. That's when she becomes very useful. Though right now, Tampa's war tank can be shelled by the artillery piece. Plus, it's Tampa war tank with plus 85% defense on a road. Battlecopter, bike. Yeah, 2 damage. And looks like she's going to be taking a lot of hits there. Did get a lot of retaliation damage there, 19 energy. Not like she can just merge with another war tank anytime soon. And she will need to get to +1 radius for aura to be in effect, so she may need to take some easy shots in top of the city. 6 damage, so maybe wound this guy here with this tank here. Let Tabata's war tank finish off then, and then be parked top of the city to get some health regen. Tabata has a massive force here, so she could just try smashing through this region. This goes for a nice easy pick there. Does not one-shot that artillery piece there, but the 500 infantry unit should be able to finish it off. There's a regular tank for that. It's the mech there. 23 energy. It looks like Tabata's just smashing through this flank right now. 102 versus 153. So Grass gonna be about a turn and a half behind, maybe 2 turns. She has some assets down here, anti-tank here, but remember as well, a lot of the value for both sides is locked into aircraft carriers. Was this 28,000? Anti-tank, tank, infantry. Start flipping the comm tower, and we'll be able to secure it. Brought some medium tank over there. Anti-tank is going to take a bit of time to get to the front line. Needs 7 energy to get +1 radius. I don't know if infantry unit can provide that with a top of war tank. Actually, that move right there is probably a really not good move, because now Tabata can simply take a free shot on that infantry there, get +1 radius, and be parked top of the city to get better resupply. That was not a good play right there. Medium tank will strike medium tank. Medium tank gets hit by everything. Yep, I think Grat is going to lose the game at current rate. It feels like Tabata has a big steamroll going, and now can also boost some nearby units for our aura. It also says she has 111 on the field, but it doesn't feel like she has 111 on the field. Yeah, I don't know. This seems incorrect to me at the moment. I'm gonna try to flip a property. Does have both comm towers. At least she has +10/+10 global. Get some shots there. Believe it or not, a seaplane could be very useful to pop on out. Provide some immediate response. Mech, anti-air, and infantry. Good hits on over here. Tabata's starting to steamroll on this side as well. This side is largely blunted, but still pushing forward. Get some good race there. 44 energy. Grat has a command tank there, so could take a shot against Tabata's war tank, but the defense is so high, it's not going to do all too much, is it? Infantry, and battlecopter. He gets a good shot there. Takes out that unit there. 1 damage. Yep. Tabata's war tank may have one-shot the regular tank. If not, her radius is quite large, so the mech may have one-shot it with that effect. Right now, Tabata could get her superpower this turn. After all, there is 20 health in front of her. I don't think that was a good call. I think he should have that would have been 10 energy, that would have been 54. And then let the mech finish, take a shot at their Grat's tank, then pull back the war tank and launch the Firestorm, which would probably nuke this formation. So I think there was an opportunity missed there. Superpower is now available for Tabata. Yep. Tabata could have launched her superpower this turn, the Firestorm. and would very likely nuke this formation because that would be HP value and indirect with this guy here likely. And indirect probably would have struck right there. Yeah, indirect probably would have struck there, also at the aircraft carrier, so never mind. This actually will probably be the Firestorm spot. Unless it's HP. Nice thing about top of the superpower is also +60/+60 global, but either way, Grot has resigned. Is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that will be my last replay tonight, so everyone, thank you for watching.